Imagine lining up on the Formula One grid, knowing that the fastest driver isn't just faster than you. He's already 3 moves ahead. Before the lights go out, before the tyres even heat up, before the race strategy is unlocked, Max Verstappen has already simulated the chaos in his head. Not once, not twice, but hundreds of times. And that's why when races unfold, when plans collapse, when engineers panic on the pit wall, Max Verstappen looks calm, composed, and always ends up exactly where he needs to be. Because speed can be matched, talent can be copied, but race intelligence? That's where Max separates himself from the rest of the grid. Race IQ isn't about lap time. It's not about bravery. It's not even about experience alone. Race IQ is the ability to read a race as it's happening, to anticipate variables before they become visible, to understand what every other car is doing, and to place yourself in the perfect position before opportunity even appears. And Max Verstappen's race IQ is so advanced that his rivals are often reacting to situations he already predicted laps earlier. That's why they guess wrong, over and over again. From the moment a race begins, Max treats Formula One like a living chessboard. While most drivers are focused on their own launch, clutch bite, and immediate surroundings, Max is already processing where rivals are positioned, which side of the track has more grip, which drivers are likely to defend aggressively, and which ones are vulnerable under braking. His starts aren't just explosive, they're calculated. He places the car exactly where it will give him maximum options by turn 2, not just turn 1. That's why you so often see him gain positions without contact, without drama, without chaos. He doesn't dive blindly. He predicts movement, and prediction is where everything begins. One of the most dangerous elements of Verstappen's race IQ is his ability to read intent. He doesn't just see where a rival is, he senses what they are about to do. Watch closely and you'll notice something fascinating. Max often commits to overtakes before the defending driver fully reacts. Not because he's reckless, but because he understands human behavior under pressure. He knows when a driver will brake early to protect tyres. He knows when a rival is bluffing on the inside. He knows when a driver is mentally vulnerable after a mistake. And when that moment arrives, Max strikes instantly. Rivals aren't beaten by speed, they're beaten by timing. This is why wheel-to-wheel battles with Max feel different. Drivers talk about it all the time. He doesn't leave ambiguity, he doesn't hesitate. His moves are decisive, clear, and psychologically heavy. When Max commits to a line, he commits fully, forcing the other driver to either concede or risk disaster. And most choose to concede, because they know Max has already calculated the outcome. That's race IQ in action. But the real magic happens over a full race distance. Max Verstappen has an extraordinary ability to manage race phases. Most drivers divide a race into simple chunks. Start phase, tyre management, push laps, pit window, end phase. Max goes deeper. He treats a race like a constantly shifting ecosystem. Every lap changes fuel load, every corner changes tyre temperature, every radio message reveals information about rivals, and Max absorbs all of it. He adjusts his pace not just for lap time, but for strategic positioning. He knows when to push without revealing true pace. He knows when to sit behind another car to save tyres. He knows when to force rivals into strategic mistakes simply by existing within DRS range. This is where teams panic, and Max doesn't. Think about how often Red Bull's strategies look obvious in hindsight. The undercut works, the overcut works, the pit stop timing looks perfect, but what people miss is that Max plays a huge role in shaping those outcomes. He feeds engineers real-time feedback that is brutally precise. Grip evolution, brake feel, tyre degradation, wind shifts. He doesn't complain, he reports, and because of that, his pit wall has better information than most. Meanwhile, rival teams are guessing, they're reacting, they're hoping. Max isn't hoping, he's deciding. One of the clearest demonstrations of Verstappen's race IQ is how he handles safety cars and restarts. This is where races are won and lost. Tyres cool, gaps disappear, pressure spikes, and chaos arrives. Many drivers panic here, they rush, they overheat tyres, they misjudge braking points. Max does the opposite. He controls the restart like a conductor controls an orchestra. He manipulates pace within the rules, bunching the field where it suits him, accelerating exactly when rivals are least prepared. That's why so many drivers get caught out behind him. That's why you see wheel spin, lockups, and mistakes, while Max launches cleanly into clear air. And here's the terrifying part. He adapts this approach to every rival. He restarts differently depending on who is behind him. Aggressive drivers, he stretches the field. Conservative drivers, he compresses it and forces hesitation. He reads behavior patterns and exploits them. That's not instinct alone. That's intelligence sharpened by ruthless observation. Weather is another battlefield where Max's race IQ becomes obvious. Rain doesn't just reduce grip, it increases uncertainty. Track conditions evolve lap by lap. Dry lines appear and disappear. Many drivers wait for instructions. Max doesn't. He reads the surface himself. He feels grip changes before they're visible on TV. He anticipates crossover points when slicks become viable, when intermediates are overheating, when full wets are pointless. That's why he often pits at the perfect moment, not because of luck, but because he understands how physics, rubber and water interact in real time. Rivals guess. Max knows. Tyre management is another misunderstood weapon. People think tyre management means driving slowly. That's wrong. True tyre intelligence is about managing load. Max understands how braking pressure, steering angle, and throttle application affect tyre surface temperature and internal degradation. He doesn't simply preserve tyres, he uses them efficiently. That's why he can push late in stints when others fade. He hasn't saved tyres by being cautious, he's saved them by being precise. This also explains why teammates struggle. It's not that the car is undrivable, it's that the car demands intelligent inputs. It rewards drivers who understand balance, rotation, and load transfer. Max does. Others guess. And that guessing compounds over a season. The more dominant Max becomes, the more pressure rivals feel to outthink him. They gamble on strategy. They push too early, they pit too late, they overreact to his pace, and Max uses that against them. Sometimes he doesn't even need to be fastest, he just needs to be predictable to himself and unpredictable to others. That's the irony. His consistency creates chaos elsewhere. Psychologically, this is devastating. Drivers know that racing Max requires perfection. One mistake, a missed apex, a slow stop, a bad tyre choice, and he capitalizes instantly. That pressure forces errors, and Max feeds on those errors. Not emotionally, strategically. He doesn't get flustered, he doesn't chase, he waits, and when the opening appears, it's already too late. This is why Max Verstappen feels inevitable in races, not unstoppable, inevitable. Rivals don't lose because they lack speed, they lose because they misjudge timing, conditions and intent. They guess wrong, again and again. And here's the final layer of his race IQ, adaptability. Formula One is changing constantly. Regulations shift, cars evolve, tyres change construction, yet Max adapts faster than almost anyone. Because race IQ isn't locked to one set of rules, it's transferable. Understanding grip, pressure, behaviour and timing works in any era. That's why every regulation reset hasn't weakened him, it's strengthened him. While others relearn, Max recalibrates. So when you watch a Max Verstappen race, understand this. You're not just watching a fast driver, you're watching a strategist in a helmet, a predictor of chaos, a master of timing, someone who doesn't react to races, he controls them. And that's why his rivals always guess wrong. Because while they're asking questions, Max already knows the answers. If you want to understand Formula One beyond lap times, beyond headlines, beyond surface level drama, this is where the truth lives. In race IQ, in decisions made at 300 kilometers per hour, in silence, in control. And Max Verstappen is rewriting what that control looks like.